Hello, everyone. This I just wanted to make a short video. Hopefully, this came to my mind, and I want to share it with you. I'm gonna read 5 verses. I think I'm gonna concentrate on one of them, but anyway, it says I'm gonna be in Luke 10:17 through 21, and verse 21 is the one I want to concentrate on. But it said, "And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven." Now this is the verse 21. In that hour, Jesus rejoiced in spirit and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hath revealed them unto babes. Even so, Father, for it seemed good in thy sight. I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about uh, babies and how they learn. They learn to walk. They fall. We don't get on to them. We just put them back up, and they keep on going. But you have to be teachable in the ways of the Lord to get any help. And I think about the people that taught me. I've told you about wise men like Brother Lige Holland and Brother Hubert Sampson. Those people certainly taught me, but I've learned from children. You can learn from anyone if you'll just let yourself. My grandson, I told you the story earlier of me and him in the Nintendo. There was another time that we were together. He loved to spend the night with us, and he loved to sleep on my arm. We was just really good buds. And this particular afternoon, I worked for Carnation Company. It became Nestle Food Company, and we had candy, and I'd have some at the house, and we had these little Easter eggs, miniature, real small, and so he got a hold of them one afternoon that he was going to spend the night with us. No telling how many he ate, and he was almost like he was bouncing off the walls. So I got ready to go to bed, and I was a little miffed at him for being kind of like he was, and so I said, I'm going to bed, and pretty grouchy. That's pretty grouchy. And I went and laid down, and I was feeling like a heel. I thought, man, I wished I could have not done all of that, because me and him was good buddies, and I was afraid that was going to drive him further away from me. So I landed there, and I was thinking about it, and I heard some little footsteps coming down the hall. And I thought, oh, no, surely not. He's not coming back here after that. And I felt like saying, go back, there's a grouch in this bed back here. But I didn't say anything, and he came on, and he stood at the end of the bed, and he said, Papa, could I lay down with you? And I was amazed. I said, yeah, go ahead. And then when he did, he always wanted to lay on my arm at night. And he said, Papa, can I lay on your arm? And I said, yes, you sure can. And I just was about to bust. So I felt like I needed to say something. So I said, Grant, Papa's sorry. And he looked at me with an incredible look, like he could not believe what was coming out of my mouth. And I said, Grant, would you forgive me? And he looked at me and said, yeah, Papa, I'll forgive you. We best buds, and best buds forgive. And I've never forgot that lesson. When maybe something doesn't click with a child of God, I just think about we are best buds. So children, you can learn from children. I've learned a lot from them. I was thinking about I used to service a church for cooks back years ago, and I had to call the custodian type guy that lived next door to the church, and he would meet me over there. Well, the first time or two, the people think they know all about pest control, and he wants to say spray here, spray there, squirt here, do this, do that, and it was kind of a little annoying, to say the least. And I didn't really want to strike up a conversation with him too much because I was afraid I'd be there so long with him thinking of things to do that wasn't necessary. So one day he said, "Have you ever thought about the armor of God?" And I said, "Yes, I thought about it." I thought, man, in my mind, I was thinking, man, I've preached that no telling how many times and heard it even more than that. What can you tell me about the armor of God? But you have to swallow your pride, and you have to be subject. He was an older man than me, so I tried to be subject to him. And he said, "Did you ever think about the breastplate?" And I said, "Yes, sir. What are your thoughts on that?" After I humbled my mind and self down, and he said, "It's a breastplate. It's not a back plate. It's only to help you. It only help you if you're going into the battle. If you turn and run, you have no protection." And that was worth for me to wait it out and listen to him. The Bible said, "If any man hath an ear, let him hear." It didn't say, "If any man have a mouth, let him talk." I had a man when I was a supervisor. I had about 13 men. I worked for Kirkland Pest Control, and I had a man, and you couldn't tell him anything. He knew everything. You've been around those kind of people, and he wanted to tell me. And so one day I told him to come in my office. I'm easygoing. He came in. I said, "Shut the door." And I said, "Have you ever thought about why the Lord gave you 2 ears and only gave you 1 mouth?" And he just dropped his head. And I said, "You've heard this before, hadn't you?" He said, I said, "Like from your first grade teacher, your mama and your daddy and everybody that you've ever met?" And he nodded his head. But he never did learn. He never learned, and he wasn't with that company much longer. You have to listen. Before a man can stand up and preach, I feel like that he has to sit and listen first. I thought about Brother Roy Spurgeon. He was a friend of mine, and my son-in-law, Brother Todd Gaines, he wanted to go see Brother Roy, and I was all up for it. We was going to go to church somewhere on this, and we went on a Saturday. It was just a few weeks before he died, and he didn't get to go to church that night. And like I said, it was only a couple of 3 weeks before he died. He was really bad, but he came in there in the living room, and we talked to him. I know it's me and Brother Todd. I don't know. It seemed like there was somebody else. And Sister Kate, his wife, came in there. And Brother Roy, I'm telling you, he was in a talkative mood. It just thrilled him. And it kind of worried Sister Kate, and she got up behind his head, and she was doing like that. He couldn't see her, but we could. And I knew she was apologizing because he was on such a roll. And I said, "Sister Kate, I knew what I knew when I came down here. I came to find out what he knew." That seems to be the trouble to me. People's always wanting to tell you what they know, but you learn a lot more by listening. I know when my dad, he didn't have the Holy Ghost. He didn't have any religion, but when I was little, nobody came over. We didn't have church friends. We had like family. And if I was sitting in the living room where these adults were, I knew not to talk. I knew the only way, I believe, if I remember right, it's been years ago, but I believe if I had to go to the restroom, I even had to raise my hand. I was not to speak in front of other adults. And it was like I was telling you in a prior video, Brother Lige, I would go visit him, me and Brother Jack Kelly most of the time, and I didn't say anything. I didn't speak. It would take him about 30 minutes for him to tell us of his boyhood and when he watched his brother shoot dice and when the ball got lost in the high weeds and whatever it was. But I didn't say anything. I didn't ask him any question. I didn't want to take his mind and steer it past where he needed to go. So I was so glad that I listened. You learn more by listening. And this just been one verse. I've enjoyed getting this to you today and hope that the Lord will be blessing you. We're still in the coronavirus as I speak to you. But may the Lord bless you and hope to see you all soon.